Hi Sophia, this is your video lesson for the week. We're going to go over some of the stuff we want you to practice. We're going to be going over some strumming patterns with C and E minor. And also we're going to go over those two chords that you're going to be working on for this week, which are G and G and D7. And I'll back up a little bit so you can see my hand for those ones, and I'll also zoom in just so I can show you exactly how to play them. So to start on your warm-ups this week, again, 5 minutes, do whatever you want. If you want to do one of the warm-ups that you want up here, wherever, it doesn't matter. Just do whatever warm-up you like best that makes your fingers comfortable, gets them nice and loose, and gets that right hand going up and down to play. So what I want to look at here are two chords that you're going to be learning now. One of them you did learn before, but it's kind of a refresher, and I want us to get used to it because it is a chord that's very common in a lot of songs, so it's good that we learn it, get good at playing it. And that chord is a G chord. Now we know G7. This is a very similar chord. Really the only difference between G7 and G, we're going to finger our chords a little differently with the strings, but instead of a F on that first string, we use the G. So I want to show you how I normally play it, but I also want to show you another way that might be easy for you. I want to give you two options. There's a lot of different ways to play these chords. So I want to show you my way of playing it, then another way which may be a little more easy for you. I want you to use whichever way is easier. So you have a choice, and this is what you're going to practice this week, just getting used to the chord. So the way I normally like to play the G, on the 6th string right here, our bottom string, I like to take my second finger and I place that on the G, which is the 3rd fret of that 6th string. Then I take my first finger and play on the 5th string, 2nd fret, B. So those are the first, or the bottom two notes that we play. Then from there, the 4th string, I'll remove this so you can see, 4th string, 3rd string, and 2nd string, leave those open. And all we have left from there is with my 3rd finger right here, the 3rd finger, I play that on the 1st string, 3rd fret. So all together, I leave these down and I strum all 6 strings. And that's a G chord. It can be a little tricky to get, especially with that stretch between the 6th and the 1st string. So just remember it. So I want you to try and keep those fingers spired so we get all those notes coming out nice and clear. It can be a little hard at first getting your fingers stretched that far, but just take your time and practice it. Go one finger at a time. I would say even just start by putting your 6th string, the 6th string, 3rd fret, and once you feel comfortable with that, then add the finger. Add the 1st finger to the 2nd fret, 5th string. And once you feel good doing that, let's add the 3rd note, which would be on our 3rd finger, 1st fret. I'm sorry, I can't say it. 3rd finger, 1st string, 3rd fret. That's how I like to play G. I know the book had a little differently, so let me show you another way to play it though. This way might be more comfortable for you. Again, I want you to experiment with this. Let me know which way is better for you, and we'll work with that. So we know G7. If you play a G7, which we already have been playing, if you play that chord, but the only one thing you would do differently is with your pinky, you lift up, let me start with this. Lift up your 1st finger, so we're not going to need this, and with your pinky, you place that on the 1st string, 3rd fret. And you have the same chord. Now the reason I don't really like this, because I I don't think it feels really good when switching between chords personally using the pinky. I try to use that as least as possible, and when using this for G, especially because G is a chord that comes up a lot, I personally don't find it comfortable. But I want you to try it both ways. Try it like this, the way I like, or similar to the G7, just using the pinky. And let me know which way works for you, and we'll go with that. But I want you to try both of them and take your time with it. I don't want you necessarily to worry about strumming patterns this week with the G chord. Just get used to playing it and getting all those notes nice and clear. The second chord we're going to learn is D7. Now that one we only play the top 4 strings, and the book shows these ones are muted. The 5th and 6th, we don't even play those. So what we do to play it, our 4th string, the D is open. We don't even need to put any fingers on that string. We're going to take now, for the 3rd string, our 2nd finger, 2nd fret. We play the A. We take our 1st finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret. We play that, the C, D, A, C. Then with our 3rd finger, we put that on the 1st string, 2nd fret. It can be easy to hit this string. You don't want to do that, so only the top 4. Now this is really the primary way to do this chord, is the way I'm showing you. So there's not really a lot of different fingerings for it. So don't worry about trying to find new ways. This is going to be primarily how you're going to play it. Remember. So just to show it one more time. Open 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 1st fret, 1st string, 2nd fret. And that one's in the book. I like how the book has it played in there. So just practice those 2 chords, getting used to them. Cool. Now, just a couple of other strumming patterns I want to show is going to be for C to E minor, and we already know how to play that. One thing before I go into the strumming patterns, if you're having trouble going from E minor to C, do the little exercise that we did when we were practicing this week, where you start at E minor and you just move that 3rd finger. Lift the 1st, lay down the 3rd on the 5th string, 3rd fret. And when your fingers get used to doing that, then you can go E minor, and then you just put on the 2nd string, 1st fret. You move your 1st finger there. And after you feel comfortable with that, you could do both to get from E minor to C. That's only if you're still having trouble with that. You're getting it pretty well, so just keep practicing that. Okay, but I want to do our strumming patterns here. So, you could get your metronome, and we can go slow with it. I'm going to for example's sake, I'm going to put our metronome at 75 BPM. So that might be a little faster than you're going to practice, but this is just to show you the strumming patterns that we're going to use. And these are the ones that I wrote down for you. So my metronome is at 75 beats per minute right now. And let me show you on here. So our first pattern, remember we're going to be using rests in these ones. So our first pattern, we're going to start on C and then go to E minor. It's going to go like this on here. C, rest, down, up, rest. Yeah. Let me count it one more time for you. C, rest, C, up, rest. C, rest, down, up, rest. Down, up, one more time, I'm sorry. Down, rest, down, up, rest. Down, rest, down, up, rest. Let me show you exactly. I can't sing it very well. So to start with C, and then we're going to go to E minor. Rest. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, rest. Down, up. Rest, down, up, rest. Down, rest. Down, up, rest. Down, rest. Down, up, rest. Down, rest. Down, up, rest. Down. rest, down, up, rest, down, rest, down, up. So that's the first pattern I want you to practice. The next one, similar because we're using rest on here. It's going to go a little differently though on here, okay? So just to show, 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, rest, rest, down. 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 Down, up, rest, rest. Okay? And so one of the things I'm doing to kind of mute when we're resting, just to kind of show you. If I metronome off, it goes down, up. I'll put my finger on my hand on the strings just so they'll stop ringing. So it's down, up, rest, rest, down, down, up, rest, rest, down. You don't have to do that right away, but that's just a little tip for you, and we'll get into that during your next lesson on here. So those are really the two main things I want you to practice for this week. Those are the two main things to focus on. You've been doing great on here. Just keep practicing with it. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. I know we don't have our lesson this Sunday because you're going to California, but when you get back, we'll work some more on this. You're doing a good job, and pretty soon we'll be playing. Because that just has E minor, G, C. So we'll be learning that pretty soon, and some other songs, because these are some very basic chords that that are really used in a lot of songs. So once we learn these, we'll be rocking and rolling pretty soon. All right, Sophia, have fun practicing. If you have questions, let your parents know so they can let me know, and I'll help you out. And I will see you soon. Bye.